There was once a young man in a quiet mountain village, strong, proud, and filled with dreams of greatness. He walked with his head high, chest out, and a smirk that told the world, "I know everything." The villagers admired his confidence, but behind their smiles, they whispered, "He's clever, but not wise." One morning, the young man heard of an old sage who lived far up the mountain, a man known for his deep wisdom. People traveled from distant lands just to hear his words. The young man laughed when he heard this. An old man with stories? What can he teach me that I don't already know? But his curiosity got the better of him. He said to himself, "I'll go. I'll challenge him. Let's see if he's truly as wise as they say." So he packed some food, filled a water gourd, and began the climb up the mountain. Hours passed. He reached the top, sweating, tired, and there sat the old man, cross-legged beneath a tree, eyes closed, calm as still water. The youth shouted, "Old man, I've come for wisdom." The sage slowly opened his eyes, looked at the boy, and said softly, "Welcome. Tell me, young man, what do you seek?" The boy smirked. "I've studied philosophy, read books, and learned from teachers. But they say you're wiser than all of them. So tell me, what's the secret of true knowledge?" The old man smiled gently. "Follow me." He led the boy to a small hut. Inside was a teapot and 2 cups. He poured tea into the boy's cup and kept pouring until the cup overflowed, spilling hot tea onto the table and the floor. The young man jumped back. "Stop. It's full. You're wasting it." The old man looked into his eyes and said quietly, "You are like this cup, full of your own opinions, pride, and knowledge. Until you empty your cup, I cannot pour anything new into it." The boy froze. His mouth opened, but no words came. For the first time, he realized how loud his arrogance had been and how silent his understanding truly was. They sat in silence for a while. Then the old man said, "Do you know what pride is, my son? Pride is the fog that blinds the eyes of the soul. It makes you see yourself as a giant and the world as small." The boy whispered, "Then how can I see clearly again?" The sage replied, "By kneeling." The boy frowned. "Kneeling?" "Yes," said the old man. "When you kneel, not before men, but before truth, your heart becomes humble enough to learn. Wisdom only lives in hearts that bow low." Tears welled in the boy's eyes. He bowed his head deeply for the first time in his life, not in shame, but in awakening. That night, he stayed in the hut with the old man. They spoke little. The boy listened, really listened, and for the first time, he found peace. When he returned to the village the next morning, his friends asked, "Did you challenge the old man?" He smiled faintly and said, "No, he challenged me." And from that day, his words softened, his steps slowed, and his pride, once loud, became quiet wisdom. Sometimes life doesn't teach us by giving us more. It teaches us by emptying us. Because wisdom doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing that you don't. So if you ever feel the need to prove how much you know, pause. Pour out your cup. You might be surprised what life can fill it with. If this story touched you, take a deep breath and hit subscribe to Epic Life Hub, where ancient stories meet modern truths. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you learn best when you speak or when you listen? Your answer might help someone find their own moment of humility.